What's going on, everyone? How are you? Super excited to be here with you guys today, and I'm talking about the real cost of saying no. The real cost of saying no. As you guys are coming in here, I'm going to just let you know that we are 2 days and what specifically? Let me look. 2 days and 11 hours and 34 minutes and 34 seconds from starting our next top bonus challenge. And I know that you have heard the rumors that are going around like crazy in this industry because this challenge has literally blown people's minds because of the results that people, reps like you have created. So go check it out. Join us. We start in 2 days, 11 hours, 34 minutes, and 13 seconds now at toplevelbonus.com. And let's get into this training. Rockstars, let me know who you are as you're coming in here because I see you dropping in and I always love to hear what part of the world, what beautiful beach you are coming in from and, or maybe not beach, but wherever that is in the world. So let's talk about today. So drop your resort below. And let's talk today about the cost of inaction. What is the cost of saying no? The cost of saying no. Oh my God, you guys are piling in here. I love it. Let me know where you're coming in from. And let's talk about the cost, the real cost of saying no. And here's what the problem. The problem is this, is that so often we focus on building value like crazy. Like we're building value, right? We talked about this in yesterday's live. If you didn't watch that, go check it out after this one. And what's going on, Ermilo? So good to have your energy. And we build value, yet we forget often about the cost of inaction. The cost of inaction. And it's such a real thing to get somebody your tour's connected with, because how easy is it for them to just say, no, I'm not going to do it today. What's going on, Soto? It's Charity from Cabo San Lucas, Sandros Finisterra. I love it. That sounds like an amazing place. And I wish I was there right now. Super excited to have you guys here with me. And how easy is it for someone to just say no? Like, I'm just not going to buy today. It's not for us today. We like it. We want to do this, just not today. And we kind of tend, who does this? If you do this, drop a 1 below. Drop a 1 below. We tend to let them off the hook so easily. Like, oh, ask you a few times. And then if you just say no, again, and like by the third no, I'm like, I guess they're not buying today, right? But how often do we really get them connected with the cost of inaction? This is such a real cost because there's a cost to everything, right? See, this is what people don't really realize. There is a cost to everything we do. Drop a 1 if you understand what I mean about the cost to inaction right now. And if you know somebody who needs to hear this message today, drop their name, tag them in the comments below as well. And as you guys come in, let me know what resort you're coming in from. So there's a cost to everything. With every action, there is a cost that comes with it. So whether we are doing something, making a decision to invest, making a decision to invest our time, our energy, our money, there's a cost to that, right? And oftentimes if it's time, there's a amount of hours or days or even weeks or months of an investment, a commitment, right? If we're looking at money, oftentimes there is if you're investing money, you're investing an amount of money that has a cost to you, right? And so when we ask our tours to say yes to us, yes to themselves that day, we're asking them to part with their money and to invest into something that's going to bring them value, right? That's going to enhance their lives. And when they say no, what it means is that they're often disconnected with the cost of inaction. And so if you guys, by the way, if you guys haven't heard about the top level bonus challenge, the 10 days to top bonus challenge, you definitely want to go check that out. I'm just going to drop that in here because some of you might not hear it. You might not have heard the beginning. So go to toplevelbonus.com and join us in 2 days and 11 hours, 30 minutes and 16 seconds. We would love to have you in that challenge. And I'll talk a little bit more about it at the end. But the cost of inaction is real. And I think that when people dissociate themselves from what not taking action really means, they dissociate themselves from that cost. And that cost, it comes in two different forms. There's an extrinsic cost to inaction. So what is it costing the other? By the way, if you're getting value to this, drop a 1 below. There's an extrinsic cost to inaction. So what is it costing perhaps my significant other for me not to say yes to myself or to our family? What is it costing? What else would be considered an extrinsic cost? What is it costing me financially? Right? What is it costing me financially to not say no? What is it costing me? And that's the whole rent versus own thing that you guys do. The whole, sometimes we call it monetization, getting them to really figure out the real cost monetarily that it's costing them when they say no. So there's an actual dollar value cost there. That's an extrinsic cost. And there are other extrinsic costs as well, right? Usually when it involves somebody else or impacting them financially, that's an extrinsic cost. And then there's an intrinsic cost. And this is the one that we often neglect. If you're guilty, I've been guilty, I'll admit it. There's an extrinsic cost of not connecting them to their decision to not take action today, right? Charity says emotionally possible. Emotionally possibly. Yes. So there's an intrinsic cost of inaction, and that intrinsic cost can weigh heavily on their body. So intrinsic is anything that's happening physically, inside, internally, that's causing them pain, right? It's like with no pain, no gain. Like if there is not an association to, if we do not act today, if we do not act today, there is going to be some continued pain. And when you can really get them in touch with that pain, that intrinsic pain, that intrinsic cost of inaction, what happens is that it then becomes almost tangible, right? It's not just some offer that you're putting in front of them. It's not just some, well, we should do this. It makes sense. It doesn't make sense not to. It actually has something that pulls at their heartstrings, something that is affecting them internally. And I think that we far too often, if you're guilty of this, drop a yes below. At least once in your career, have you ever not gotten them attached to the cost of inaction intrinsically? Meaning, what is the toll that it's taking on you physically? What is the toll that it's taking on you emotionally? What is the toll that it will take on you physically, emotionally, spiritually, on your health, right? All of these things are real intrinsic costs of not saying yes to themselves, not saying yes in a big way, right? And how do we know what these costs are? Well, number one, we find out through the discovery what is it that was important to them, and we talked about that in yesterday's live, and then you ask them. So you do a little takeaway from them. Charity says she's guilty. Yeah, I've been guilty of this too. And so the question is, how often have we not really tugged at their heartstrings and gotten them emotionally connected to the cost of inaction and what that's doing to their bodies, their minds, their health, their stress levels, or their lack of stress? If they say yes, could that affect it, right? Could that improve their mental sanity? And by saying no, what specifically is that doing? And so how do we go about, I'd love to hear from you guys, what are some ways that you go about connecting your tours to this cost of inaction? What are some ways that you personally go about connecting them to that cost of saying no today? And I think that you've got to do both. You've got to get them really freaking connected to the value that saying yes provides to them in their life. By the way, if you know somebody who should be listening to this live or should catch the replay, just tag their name in the comments and they'll see it. And there's a real cost to, there's a cost to everything. When the cost to saying yes is far less than the cost to saying no, it's a no-brainer to say yes to themselves that day. It's when the cost of saying no far exceeds the small price, that investment into themselves, that the cost of saying no far exceeds the cost of saying yes, that's when the real pain kicks in. And when you can really get somebody connected with that, it can take someone who's coming at you with, no, we can't do this today. It makes sense. We're going to do it. We're going to do it someday. We just can't do it today. It takes them from that space into oh, we didn't think about that. How is this impacting me? How is this impacting our relationship? How long can we go? Because you've already had that conversation. How long can we go, right, without changing something? And that's the intrinsic cost, right? So there's a whole separate cost that so many people don't even recognize. And we as reps, right? Well, you as reps, I was a rep for many years. You as reps, and I'm, I've done this too. I'm super guilty of it. We look at the price to get started. What's the price? They're going to see that $60,000 or $20,000 or $30,000 quote unquote price. And that is what we look at as cost. Who's guilty of that? Drop a 1 below. Right? Oh my God, that's so expensive. Because you wouldn't buy it. You think maybe they won't buy it, right? But when that quote unquote price is like the reason why, if they say, hey, Jennifer, what's going on? If that price is such a no-brainer because the value far exceeds it and the cost of keeping their problem becomes so freaking costly and intrinsically in their body, spiritually, mentally, physically, their sanity, their relationships suffer, all of that is at jeopardy by them saying no today, then it becomes a no-brainer for them to say yes. When you can not only connect the extrinsic cost of them saying no, meaning what is it going to do to them financially, what is it going to do to them, other people, and also, I should say, what is it doing to them internally? So connecting that external cost with the internal cost, and when you do that effectively, guys, you're going to pull them into the ditch. And I wanted to give you that little nugget. Did anybody find that helpful, by the way? Good. I'm glad you're tagging people who need to hear this. Awesome. Love it, love it, love it. And we forget. We focus so often on value. Like, ooh, how can I get them to just see that this is the solution? How can I get them to just see that this is what they need? What else can I throw at them? How much can I bottom out the price? How much can I just give them? Double up their bonuses, triple up their bonuses. Like, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. Anybody know? Drop some likes or hearts if you understand what I'm saying. And we forget that there's a cost, right? That's beyond the price tag. That's not the real cost. That's the no-brainer cost. When you focus on that being the no-brainer cost, right? That's just the no-brainer cost. The real cost is everything extra. The real cost is what it's costing you internally, what it's costing you externally, and what you're letting go of by waiting. When you guys can really do that, all of a sudden now you have created, as we talked about in yesterday's live, real value, because now they're emotionally connected as well as logically connected, and that's powerful. Rockstars, I hope you enjoyed this little tidbit on the cost of saying no, and if you did, let me know below. And you can also let me know by tagging your coworkers, tagging your friends who need to hear this. I wanted to let you guys know that we have a challenge coming up. And some of you are like asking me, what's this challenge really mean? And I'm going to tell you, it's we're calling it the 10 days to top bonus challenge, because 2 years ago when I ran this challenge, my whole intention was to help you guys create so much momentum by coaching you, coming live at you for 10 solid days, the last 10 days of your month, and to really give you so much value that you would go out there and you would be lit up and just have this fire in your belly to sell deals. And it worked. So when we did this challenge 2 years ago, there were so many incredible testimonials, site records that were beat, personal records that were beat, all kinds of records that were beat, right? And I was like, oh my goodness, this is too good to not run again. And so it took a while. My graduate school is calling for me to donate money to them. Apparently they didn't know I was live with you guys. I had to send them. Excuse me if that interrupted. Oh, those dang colleges. It's okay if you missed it. You can go back and watch it. Definitely go back and watch it. Hey, good evening. So it was such a successful challenge that I realized that we need to go back to that. And I wanted to try it. And we did it in March. And Jennifer, you were a part of last month's challenge. And how was it for you? I'm curious if you want to drop that in here. How was that challenge for you specifically? And you're joining us this month, so I'm assuming it was pretty decent. But if it shifted anything that you think would be of value for anyone to hear, definitely drop that in the chat below. That'd be awesome. But for what I've seen, we had almost 300 testimonials, guys. 300 like crazy like wins, like people selling deals, like doubling down, tripling down. We had people like go from total mind, like I almost cursed, but like feeling like they were like, that wouldn't be a first for me if you listen to my podcast. But what's going on, Hoover? How are you, Bill? That, feeling like you're mind effed, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like, oh my God, I'm losing deals, or I don't have momentum, I don't have flow, I'm totally out of it. And it happens to the best of us. And then all of a sudden, feeling like you're part of something. And that's what we do at the Top Bonus Challenge. It's all about being a part of something big and showing up every single day. And I give you guys a different topic for the day that you go out there and you focus on. Every single night you come in and I go live with you. And, for those people who have been in this challenge before, they'll tell you that I don't go live for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and I go live for an hour minimum, like every single day, which I don't want to put out there, like committing to it. But one day, the first day is usually the longest. It was almost 2 hours of me coaching you guys on how to break through those subconscious blocks, break through all the stuff that's like keeping us stuck and keeping us playing small and not selling the deals that we deserve and not changing the lives of people who really need us to show up at our finest, at our best, and help them. And we can only help them when we shift within ourselves. And that's what the Top Bonus Challenge is all about. You can find it at toplevelbonus.com. And we start in 2 days. I decided to run another challenge, guys, because it was so freaking epic. We interviewed somebody last challenge who sold $10 million last year. And I'm bringing you another awesome, I might even bring you more than one. You never know. I work on all kinds of things behind the scenes for you guys. So I'm bringing you some top talent in the industry. And one of the top talents that we brought in last month, Jonathan Garcia, who sold $10 million in 2018, he's like, what's going on? There's such a buzz behind this. Like his managers are like, it's a no-brainer, join the challenge. Like she's paying you to join it, which is crazy. And I pay you to join it, by the way. I'm breaking the ice. I love it. I pay you to join the challenge when you simply anybody you bring in. I'm sending you $97 times the number of people that you bring in, as long as they work with you at your site. And so it's like ridiculously not to do it. It's kind of like, the no-brainer times where you're sitting with your tours going, why the heck do they not see this is a total freaking no-brainer? I'm like, these people must hate money. They must hate like going to the next level if they say no to themselves to this, because I'm literally making it such a no-brainer for you to help you guys to shift, to break through, to really allow you to create major momentum. I had someone reach out to me yesterday and he said, oh my God, I've been on such a stride and I just kind of felt like fell off the last couple of days. I'm so excited for the next few days for the challenge to begin again. It's round 2. We have so many people doing it again for round 2 because it was so powerful last time. So join the challenge, guys, toplevelbonus.com. If you know anybody who could benefit by spending less than the cost of a dinner out, like seriously, it's absolutely ridiculous. Get one person to join and you're making money pretty much, okay? 2 people, you're making money. 1 person, you're broke even. It's a no-brainer. Go to toplevelbonus.com. I will see you in the challenge in a few days. We're closing the doors soon, so you don't want to be left out. Join at toplevelbonus.com and share this out, guys. You guys are amazing. Tag your managers, tag your directors. Join. It's a game changer. Oh, thank you, Jennifer. Super excited that you are joining us for round 2 this month. And we'd love to have everyone else who's ready, who's coachable, who's ready to get to the next level, who's hungry, and will show up. So we'll see you guys on the inside. Bye, everyone. Peace.